Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om and greetings from London, from a storage room in London. What would be the benefits and costs of mixing up a means with the ends and the ends with the means? What would be the benefits and costs of mixing up the means and the ends? If we can isolate a circumstance, what if the ends of going to college is just academics, is just getting grades? That's the ends, it's not a means. Would college be a better experience or a worse experience? Would college be more fulfilling or less fulfilling? Let's take going to the hospital, another circumstance. Suppose going to the hospital, the end is taking as much medicine as possible, as much saline solution, as much anesthesia. It's not about leaving that hospital. Would that be more fulfilling? Less fulfilling? Would it be better for the economy? Would it be worse for the economy? We all know college is not for grades and hospitals are not for medicine only. This course is trying to show us that there's more to life than meets the eye. There is more to us than the means we're engaging in, whether that's our families, whether that's our societies. And to be exposed to that ends is very powerful. And we are fortunate that Sri Ramana takes this most beautiful ends, that is enlightenment, and is guiding us there in a simple, systematic way. Last week, we studied Shloka 20. And the summary, the message of Shloka 20, selfishness is unnatural. It's called swartha, where the only artha, the only meaning is swa, that is me. That is unnatural. We've come to feel otherwise, though. We've come to feel that selfishness is what gets me ahead in the world. Selfishness will help me get a job. I always remember what Swami Tejomayananda shares. It used to be that right is might. Now it's might is right. That selfishness is natural. Sri Ramana is saying that selfishness is because of separation. That selfishness is because I believe I is the ego. Small case I. When the truth, when reality is that I is not the ego, I is existence, awareness, joy. I is not small case, I is bolded, capital bolded. Then we become more loving. We'll love ourselves more, no? If you are your hair, the older you get, the less you'll love yourself. But you know you're not your hair. Evolution would be to love oneself more. That means going deeper into oneself. we love ourselves more, we love others more, then selflessness becomes natural. All of this in one simple shloka of 2 lines. We continue, shloka 21. Idamaham padabhikyamanvaham. Idamaham padabhikyamanvaham. Ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Sri Ramana continues saying, Idam aham pada. References like idam, this, aham. Pada means a place, pada means a word. These are just references. Whenever there's a reference, there has to be a locus from which that reference comes about. So what's more important, the reference or the locus? The locus is obviously more important. References are relative. That, this, you, I, all of these padas, all of these words are relative. And Guruji shares, that's why our family is called relatives, and not absolutes. Your sibling is not an absolute, your sibling is a relative. When I know references, that's how Sri Ramana is orienting us. When I know my relatives are relative, the right relationship develops with them. I don't take any relationship too seriously. I don't take any relationship too casually. I have the right thoughts and the right feeling with all relations. So these are the references. Naturally, there has to be a locus. Abhikyam anu aham. The locus for all of this is aham. Aham here is the capital bolded I. This is the final I. This is the absolute I. And one will only come to experience this when that small case I is unraveled, when that small case I is forgotten. Pujya Swami Chinmayananda, in his text, Meditation and Life, he gives a simple definition for contemplation. It is to forget what you are not and to remember what you are. Sri Ramana is saying the same. In the first line, he's saying, forget these references, remember the locus. This is simplification that we can go through, that we must go through, that we will go through. Simplification. In nature, we see all of nature trying to go to its simplest structure. Evolution, inquiry, enlightenment is the same. But it's not something you can measure by atoms or by weight. It's measured by how cheerful we are, how concentrated we are. And now, this third quarter brings in a new way of thinking of small I, capital I, and I introduced this last week. Ahami linake. Linake means to merge. Linake means like laya, to become dormant. Ahami is that I in italics. So let's go back to last week. I gave you 3 I's. Small case I, capital I in italics, capital I in bold. What is small case I? Ego. What is capital I in italics? Ishvara. What is capital I in bold? Infinity. So Sri Ramana is sharing here that when that small case I is merged, is forgotten, the capital I that is italicized also merges, is forgotten. So please stay with me. I know you can appreciate this. If creation, or let's change the word, if created is merged, if created is forgotten, automatically, by association, what else has to merge? The creator. The creator also has to be forgotten. The creator depends on creation as much as creation depends on the creator. If there's a creator, there has to be creation. Otherwise, why would that person or entity be the creator? Shared more casually. Someone had asked a teenager, how old are your parents? So this young boy says, my parents are 15. And this person said, how can your parents be 15 if you're 15? And he said, they became parents when I was born, no? So who's the creator and who's creation in this dialogue, right? But logically, this boy is right. You can't call yourself a parent if you don't have a child, right? So they became parents when that child was born. Now, if that child wasn't born, so no created, that means a parent also was not born. So no creator. So this is where Sri Ramana is exposing us to the absolute. That even Ishvara is relative. Physically, we've heard this example of if the ego is a wave, then God is the ocean beyond or transcending both of these conditionings of wave ocean, which is really based on size, is water. Water is absolute. Water is not associated with waves and oceans. Please remember, as you contemplate on this third quarter, Bhagwan, in this case I use the word Ishvara, is the means to the infinite or Brahman. One cannot go from ego to infinity. God is the means to infinity. Sri Ramana will be more emphatic about this soon. In the last quarter, alaya or alaya sattaya. You've heard of this word alaya before. Where have you heard this word alaya before? Bhojanalaya, right? The abode of food. But what you should be thinking is sadhanalaya, the abode of sadhana, right? The alaya, not the support, the establishment or the home, when there's the merger of the small I and the italicized I, is sat, is existence, awareness, joy. This is independent, all else is dependent. In many of our subjective retreats, like our Devi retreats, our understanding marriage retreats, our spiritual parenting retreats, one of the first messages I share with all who attend You are not a sister. You are not a husband. You are not a cousin. You are you first. Then you are a sister, you are a husband, you are a cousin. We've been trapped into believing that we are actually the reference instead of the locus. We always refer to ourselves in association with someone. No. I am such and such person's daughter. I am such and such person's parent. The only place where that is proper is in the Guru Shishya Parampara, where I say I'm the Shishya of Swami Chinmayananda. I'm the Shishya of Swami Tejomayananda. Because in the Guru Shishya Parampara, there's such a oneness that is there. The most independent part of you is you. All else are forms, are names. And if you think of the implication of this last quarter, do you give yourself the time that you deserve? We give a lot of time to people who fix our sump pumps. We give a lot of time to business dealings. You have a meeting here, you have to fire someone, you have to hire someone. But what about that morning time when you can read, write, and reflect about you, about existence, awareness, joy? Do you do that? Because if you don't, you think you're the reference and not the locus. But in the morning, if you're engaged in sadhana, you're connecting to, you're feeling absolute I, bolded I, then you have the best relationship with all of the other references. Then even if someone says, they say to me, aren't you Sheila's husband? Yeah. Because I know I, and then, yeah, you can call me whatever you want. What difference does it make? But if I don't know I, when someone says I'm Sheila's husband, you're mistaken. Sheila's my wife. You get, I may have said the same thing, but you get my point. Correct? There's no room for insecurity if one is tuned into the infinite, but as long as I'm not tuned into the infinite, there will always be that sense of insecurity. Isn't that the case with like writing books or even invitations or seating plans? How come my name isn't first? How come I'm sitting beside this person? But if you know who you are, who cares? And you're telling me this isn't practical. This is the most practical subject. Existence, awareness, joy depends on none. Existence, awareness, joy is independent. So much so, if you ever have the opportunity to study Acharya Shankara's Bhasha or commentary on Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, when Bhagavan Krishna is trying to re-educate Prince Arjuna that he is beyond killing or being killed, Acharya Shankara uses two very powerful words. He says, Ishwaropi, or Ishwaraha api, that even God cannot kill the self. If you can contemplate on that, what Acharya Shankara is saying is, if Bhagavan is here, transcending Bhagavan is Brahman. If God is here, transcending God is yourself. That Om was just to get us tuned into chanting the shloka. Let's chant the shloka together. idamaham pada bhikyamanvaham ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Om